that she can do it. Got me on everything that I thought I wouldn't do. I'm on another level, bitch, I'm geek. Count up your words and watch how you speak. Bring you some shit that niggas never pick. Scale every fabric on me, shit ain't cheap. Quit all that cat and shit. I heard you got cat drip the whole
on mute. Yes. On mute, bro.
Damn, bro. If the money do backflips, the whole up. It's more than just rap shit. That's that grind. It's that grind.
It's more than just backflips. That's that grind. Constant grind. Oh, constant. Gotta stay with it, stick with it. I don't know who's familiar with like the Sisyphus philosophy, right? Wait, let me make sure. The Sisyphus rock, right? I'm gonna wanna explain, you know, concepts of being stubborn or sticking to some. Co-pilot, what is the Sisyphus philosophy?
Solipsism is a
no. What is the Sisyphus rock philosophy?
The Sisyphus philosophy is rooted in the idea of the Greek myth of Sisyphus, where Sisyphus is condemned to roll a boulder up a hill only for it to roll back down each time he nears the top. Albert Camus used this myth as a metaphor.
Yeah, so I just wanted that whole idea. So it's the whole rolling a boulder for it to just like come back down, you know what I'm saying? And you keeping with that constant motion, you know what I'm saying? That's probably the idea of persistence. Might be the idea of stubbornness, you know what I'm saying? Depending on like what angle you look at it from, you know what I'm saying? It can be like stubbornness. So now what, like literally what that does to a brain like mine, it you know, it takes me to the idea, or it leads my thinking to the idea of just like, you know, remaining where you fit in, bruh. I feel like that's what's enough. That's what's always been enough. That's what'll ultimately land you where you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Getting and remaining where you fit in. It's not necessarily about like being stubborn and like breaking doors down and I'm gonna keep knocking until, you know, it gets open and I'm gonna break the door down, and you know what I'm saying? I get the whole idea where it's like people have gotten positive fruit from that, right? They've experienced some sort of growth from that, right? From just being stubborn, just being persistent, just being, you know, but then at a certain point you yourself may have experienced maybe the discomfort in you remaining there, you know what I'm saying? The whole idea maybe of overstaying your welcome, you know what I mean? You get a group of friends, or you get maybe in, you know, in a new environment. You know what I'm saying? You move into a new environment, you have to make new friends, new social circles, things like that. And then obviously you go through this journey, you know, process of elimination, where, you know, the people that will, because naturally at first sight, bro, at like first engagement, like people will be welcoming, people will be open. You're not trying to be rude. You yourself will be open. You yourself will be welcoming. You know what I'm saying? In establishing new relationships. Right? But then as time goes, y'all give each other the opportunity to show each other, you know what I'm saying, to show one another to each other, you feel me? And then naturally it has to happen where it's like, yo, do we keep this going, or do I cut you off, or do you cut me off? You know what I'm saying? And these are natural, like this is a natural cycle that I'm explaining right now, you know what I mean? But then you get to a point where it's like, I don't know, maybe something external, maybe something that's not who you really are, maybe your money, maybe your wit, maybe your connections, this, that, and the third, makes somebody stick with you. But like you can clearly see there's no resonance here. Me and this person, we cannot kick it. Like there's no kicking it here. But they trying to overstay their welcome. You might just like let them know, hey, nah, watch out, back off. You know what I'm saying? Like we there's no need to keep this going. You know what I'm saying? Now, what does that do when they keep persisting, bruh? It's like, yo, they keep wanting to press on, push on being that friend, push on being that buddy. You know what I'm saying? Push on just like stubbornly, persistent, trying to prove some shit. Like, yo, like I'm worthy of being here. Like, give me a chance, please. Don't let me go. Oh, bro. Move out of the way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you yourself being at that end of the stick, right? Where you gotta dish out somebody realizing that, yo, you don't fit in here. You know what I mean? You yourself, you see how weird it is. Now, try putting yourself in the shoes of, you know, the person that's being told, yo, bro, back off. You understand what I'm saying? Now, depending on who I am talking to right here, you might find it weird to be like, okay, nah, obviously, right? I gotta back off. You know what I mean? When I'm not needed, when I'm not wanted. Let's talk about being wanted, because, you know, being needed and being wanted, you know what I'm saying, they can develop into two completely different ideas. You know what I'm saying? If you would like delve into these ideas, just like subject, like, you know what I'm saying, like respectively. But then now, because like needing somebody, you there's realities where somebody can need you and literally not fuck with you, and literally not mess with, like, not like you, not like your energy, aka your old folks, your parents. You don't necessarily need to like your parents, but like you need them at a certain point in your life. You know what I'm saying? But then wanting somebody, you know what I'm saying, desiring your presence, things like that. And I'm not only talking about people too. I'm talking about places and things. Yeah, I'm saying places and things. I don't know, you tried X amount of times to just like cop a whip, you know, get you a little bucket for you to get around, but you can never just like keep it, bruh. Like, it always like breaks down. Like, you can never, you know, your timing in seeing when it needs attention, you always miss that. So you always, you know, you overspend on this card. Now you gotta like, yo, let go of it, or whatever the case. It's like it can never like remain with you, and it being with you, for you, it is pressure. Be real with yourself. It's like, yo, like, I don't need a car, at least for this phase of life. Like, let's be real on those kind of levels, where it's like sometimes these things are temporary. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't belong somewhere, or you don't belong with somebody just temporarily, maybe in a different phase of life. Beautifully, you know what I'm saying, y'all could beautifully just like resonate with one another or whatever. But like right now, and I said it could be a place or a thing. It could be maybe a geographical location. You know what I'm saying? It just the temperature, not even temperature, the temperament of the people. Maybe my temperament towards these kind of people, the sort of ideals, you know what I'm saying, standards that they keep, their respect levels. Like, I don't connect. You know what I'm saying? I'm a youngin', bro. I'm from whatever. I'm from the village. I'm from the township. I'm from I'm from this kind of area, this suburbia kind of lifestyle where it's posh, and like, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But let's say in a different phase of your life, you might fit in pretty well, because now you've probably settled down within your own energy, within your own spirit, your own soul. You know what I'm saying? And so then you can fit in there. You get in there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is more a word for the younger ones, bro. If you yourself are a young cat, you know what I'm saying? Maybe still in your teens. Maybe you got a whole bunch of family members who are still young or whatever. Yo, I feel like these may be the kind of energies you may see or experience yourself. You know what I'm saying? Trying to like, yo, for dear life, bro, like fight to fit in somewhere, and you know, with a group of people, fight to fit in. Maybe plug yourself into a career space. You know what I'm saying? More than it being trial and error kind of phase. You know, the teenage phase, early 20s, maybe your whole 20s. I don't know. But that whole situation, that whole experience, that whole reality, bro, it's for things to just like take a trial and error kind of effect. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself a chance. You know what I'm saying? But it's always important to like don't be quick to attach, or overly attached, especially places where you don't fit in, where you're not desired, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a lot of people think about, yo, where am I desired? It's all the time just like survival mode, like, yo, as long as I'm surviving, man, I'll just stick to it here. And yo, listen to me. I'm not ignorant to the extent where I don't regard, you know, circumstances where, yo, you really gotta, like, who likes me, bruh? Who hates me, bruh? I gotta be here, and this is what I can make work for myself. That's you needing to be, you know what I'm saying, at a certain space so that you can propel yourself to the next level that you think is best for you. You know what I'm saying? There is that. But then at the same time, you know, comfort levels, convenience levels, you know. And yes, there is a, you know, it's a fine line between like delayed gratification and, you know, making yourself feel good at the moment. You know what I mean? From all, maybe you work so hard. I don't know. Maybe you just like plant so much seeds. It's like you need some resting moments where life can feel worthy again, where we can breathe again. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about now like, yo, the end goal where, yo, we don't even need to lift a finger, do no work, but still, you know, be eaten. Like, how is that gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like, yo, use your brains, dog. Use your brains to like think about where you at and where you're trying to be. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's like, there are times where, yo, you find yourself, man, I work so hard, bruh. I don't know, like whatever aspect of life it is, but it's like you need those moments of just like a little, you know, small percentages of just making yourself feel good in the moment. Now, whatever you do with that information, it's up to you, bro. You feel what I mean? But that's what I feel like. That's what could connect you to like where you're supposed to be, especially knowing that, yo, I want to be here. I like being here. I'm embraced, and it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not. It doesn't have a negative effect on anybody, including myself, because you may be one of those people. Yo, are you telling me I gotta justify, you know, some negative vices? Look, bro, that's why I said do with that information as you will. I'm not, you know, driving anybody to like be on some foolish vibe. You know what I'm saying? But you yourself can scale and calculate when a situation is self-detrimental. You know what I mean? I feel like, yo, here's a disclaimer. All that I said has to go with a grain of knowing the consequence of what you're you know, of the decisions that you're making. You know what I'm saying? Deciding, okay, nah, I'll chill here with this person. Like, yo, you know what I mean? I'll chill here with this lady, with this girl. You feel what I mean? No matter what happens, bro, like, you're mine forever. You're not going anywhere. To a point where, like, you're so obsessive, bro. She's giving you signals, and she's laughing, smiling, telling you, yo, back off, because you're actually creeping her out. And she's not trying to trigger you the wrong way by giving you an aggressive face. You understand what I'm saying? So you might just, like, misread that into being like, oh, she's welcoming. Why is she saying it with a smile? Why is she saying no with a smile? She wants it. No, she doesn't. No. Stop it, bro. Like, you're obsessive. You're not wanted there. Now, you may tell yourself, now I'm wanted here. It's like, bro, you are freaking, she's uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? At that point, you're like a freak and you lack self-awareness. I don't know. So, yeah.